So I'm making this quick video as a rant. Has anyone else thought, or maybe it's just me, I don't know, that customers are becoming a little more needy and tantrum throwing, whatever you want to call it? I swear. So the bakery I work at, we have a closing time. We close at 8, okay? And typically I don't care. Like a couple minutes after we close, if someone comes up, I'll get them a cake out of our case. And typically we have like a how ours is set up is we have a self-serve case to where customers can just go up and grab the cakes that are already packaged and out on the floor for them. And then we have a cooler that is meant for our display cakes or ones that we have to get out for them. And like I said, we close at 8 o'clock. I don't have a problem with opening that up shortly, just after we close, because typically I'm not cleaning up yet. I'm still kind of doing the finishing stocking before I leave at like 9 o'clock. So typically after about 10 minutes of us closing, half an hour of closing, I'd say roughly about half an hour is when I usually have a cutoff time so that I can get out by 9. Gives me that half an hour to clean because it really doesn't take that long to clean, But it baffles me the amount of people I have had lately. 45 minutes, almost 9 o'clock. I've even had people when I've had to stay over till 10 at night getting mad that I will not get them out a cake and stuff because I'm cleaned up. I'm ready to go for the night. Believe it or not, workers, we have a life outside of our job. And we would like to be able to, for one, get home, sleep. And for those who have families, be able to get home to their families. We don't live at a store 24/7. Though some people might think so. We don't. We have closing times. We have closing times for a reason. And yes, I understand things happen. I understand that it's, something might have happened with your cake or in order or whatever with someone else that it didn't go exactly how you wanted it to go. I understand that completely. But you can't get mad at me or you can't get mad at anyone else because it's our closing time. Okay? It's our closing time, and what the heck is that? Sorry, I just had some chocolate. I don't know. Anyway. It's like, and then they throw a tantrum and then scoff. That's like, how dare I want to go home after like a 6 to 8 hour shift. Granted, I only work 6 hours because I don't have babysitter available to just be able to watch my kid all the time. I don't. So I have to work certain hours. And I'm tired, even after, the 6 hour shift. Granted, I know there are people out there who have to work way more hours than that. Especially, like, whatever. Anyway. It's frustrating. How even if I were to give them an option, be like, we have these self-serve cakes out here. You can get any of those. I can't write on it for you because, again, everything's cleaned up for the night. But I give them the option of, we do have these happy birthday we do have these happy birthday pics or these pics that say celebration. And they typically come with, they have 3 candle holders in them. And They come in multiple different colors. So I'm like, I can't get you this cake, and I can't really write on the ones that are out there right now, but I have this option for you. So it's not like I'm telling them I can't do nothing for you. But I don't understand. Like today, I would have been out on time, and usually this is literally every night. I think I'm going to be out on time, but there's that one person that always comes up, and then wants something and then gets mad that I can't give it to them because I would like to be out by my scheduled time. That never happens. Never happens. Because I'm typically the only closer at this point. So I have a lot of crap I gotta get done. Like today, I don't want to say arguing, but I was dealing with these people for about 10-15 minutes. It was almost 9 o'clock, so we were almost closed for an hour. And by the time oh, well, it's a stupid policy. Like, oh, I used to be a manager. How is it a stupid policy that when we're closed, we're closed? How is it a stupid policy that the company is wanting us to be able to go home? I don't think it's a stupid policy that it's like you don't go to a restaurant, okay? And I know some people do. But you're jerks if you do this. You don't go to a restaurant once they're closed and expect them to serve you. Granted, I know this is a little bit different. We don't have like a whole kitchen to clean up and whatever. But it's the same premise. It's the same thing. It's like I would like to clean up and go home. If I'm still stocking or whatever, and I even said this, if I wasn't already cleaned up, I would not have had a problem. But I was already cleaned up and ready to go. I would have been out on time had these people not stopped to argue with me. It's just one of those things. It's like, yes, overtime is nice, which, no, 6 hours. I don't really get that overtime, but whatever. It can be nice, but it's nice to also just to be able to go home. Just, especially dealing with some frustrating people. As granted, a majority of people are fine, but I'm coming across more and more ignorant and frustrating people. Like, right now, we only have one cake decorator. And we try to do cutoffs because we don't want her, or we don't want her to get, like, overwhelmed. But people still scoff, and it's like, well, you said this time limit. Yeah, okay, and things happen. Okay, we are not able to, any people that we hire in, they don't stay. No one wants to stay. So it's not our fault. And we're not about to overwhelm the one that we have and possibly lose her and then have no one to do cakes. It just baffles me, the ignorance and the lack of care for other people. It baffles me. It really does. Like, I get it. It's frustrating when, you're told, oh, well, we only need this certain amount of time between. Because typically we give, like, at least a 24-hour notice. But since we've only have one cake decorator, I've been telling people, well, typically 24 hours. But just because of the one cake decorator thing, it's better if you do it at least 3-4 days in advance, just so you have your cakes put in. And It's getting frustrating. That the amount of people who have walked in the workers area, the people who snap their fingers, do the come here thing or whistle, that's getting more and more frequent. And the being on the phone on top of that. Like, I personally will not help you if you're on the phone. Because for me, it's rude for me to interrupt your phone call. It's also rude to be on the phone while someone's trying to help you. Like, again, just today, I was taking a cake order. And this person in the middle of the cake order had a phone call and answered it. I'm like, and then proceeded to have a conversation. Like, it's one thing if you're like, hey, I'm doing something real quick, I'll call you back. You know, that's fine. But having a full-blown phone call, I straight up stopped taking her order. I just sat there until she was done. Honestly, I probably could have or should have just walked away and started doing something productive, because clearly she didn't care. They didn't care. I already said it. But I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, at least in my department, we don't have that many people working nights. We don't have, like, I think we're slowly starting to get people in. But it's just, it's aggravating. Because it's like they know that we can't say anything back. So they're like, we're just going to dish out whatever we can to you. But I don't think a lot of people realize that we can refuse you service if we feel the need to. I think a lot of people think that, but we can. If you're being overly rude, if you're being verbally abusive towards someone, you know, we can refuse your service. But anyway, sorry, this is my rant. It's been building up for a couple weeks, but I needed to let it out. I think I need to rethink my job. I don't know. I think I've had about enough with the retail thing. I don't know. Anyway, if you guys have any horror stories, feel free to let me know. You guys have a good night. See you in the next video.